Hello everyone. Quick update on my worm bin. It's been 2 days since I added food, and the worms do definitely seem to be doing quite well. So let's take a look. If you can see, the dark stuff on this side is actually the old compost material, which I'm going to be starting to use as the bedding. The worms, they don't seem to have any problems with it, and it would probably, because what I think is that there's actually still some stuff inside this material that can actually be used, that can be consumed by the worms. So I will continue using that as sort of bedding for the worms. Now, if you look at my past videos, you remember that I added a handful of lettuce onto this side here, and there's actually been quite a lot of activity. If I pull back the material, you can see that there's actually not that much lettuce left. I'm actually quite surprised at how quickly they actually went and devoured all the lettuce. So as you can see, there's definitely been a lot of activity. The worms definitely have been enjoying a lot of their food. And yeah, there's definitely a lot less lettuce, and a lot of it has just basically become like this. So this is a good compost stuff. So I'm quite happy with that. The worms themselves, they seem to be quite active. You can see that. So they're definitely doing quite well. There still aren't really that many of them. I figure, we'd probably have about 20, maybe 30 worms right now. Material-wise, there's really not much more that I'm going to do on this side. I'm actually going to start adding new food onto this side here, right on top of the new compost bedding. So this time around, I'm going to add 2 handfuls. So it's basically this, just add it to it. Not going to do too much else with in terms of mixing around, because the worms, they actually do like to come to the surface. The lettuce itself is actually quite wet, so I'm not going to need to spray it down or anything. And hopefully the worms will migrate over. Now I'll add, after this video, I'll add a bit more newspaper just to give the worms a bit more roughage and stuff like that. But hopefully this side, that the organic waste will continue to decompose, and it will turn into a better source of compost. One other thing that I did add at the bottom in my collection bin is cheesecloth. Now, one of the reasons why is that the old bin that I was using here, the holes are too big, you know, and it just wasn't collecting the compost material well enough. So cheesecloth, you know what, it's there, it's cheap, you know, it's probably going to be easier just to put a piece of, like this underneath, and then, you know, all the liquid material will definitely flow through, and that's that. So this is my update on my worm bin at present, and hopefully my worm population will continue to grow. And I know that this is going to be a long process. I'm quite happy with how much they've actually been able to eat so far. So that's that for this. So a quick update on my bokashi bin. I haven't opened it in the last 2 days, so I don't know what's been going on inside. Now, bokashi works on anaerobic bacteria. The anaerobic bacteria will ferment the food, so and using that process, it'll help it break down. Now, so constantly opening the bin will slow down that process. So it's always best to keep it closed tightly. I have some food, some waste that we've generated over the last couple of days. My wife has been really good and supportive in helping me keep the bins, or keep the food to one side. So let's open this up and we can see. It doesn't smell. It doesn't smell bad. Now that's last 2 days ago I put in some food waste, some pasta, an old eaten apple core. I'm going to assume that this stuff right here, this white stuff right here, is the bacteria at work. Actually, yeah, there is quite a lot of activity. There's starting to be some activity on the side. So it is doing its job. So, but I guess with the kind of material that I have in here, it's just going to take a bit longer. I know that online there's a lot of other people that would probably suggest I mince this up a bit more, and so that's probably what I will do at some point in time. Now, the waste that I have this time, a lot of it is actually cooked food. I went crazy yesterday and decided to make deep fried food. So there is the resulting chicken legs, chicken bones, some veggie matter, the asparagus stalks, some breadcrumbs, some noodles, so some this is a broccoli stalk, so some stuff. So yet again, Push everything down, make sure that try to get as many air bubbles out of it as possible. I'm actually quite interested to see how long it'll take for this stuff to digest bone. Just put a tiny bit more powder in. And that is that for the, one final thing is I'm going to see what kind of juice comes out of this. Now, I don't know if you can see, but there's still plenty of this red liquid. Red liquid is good. It means that enzymes, the Bakashi process is actually doing its thing. Wow, there's actually a lot of liquid. Anyways, that's pretty much it for now. I mean, I've only had this bin going for 7 days, so I'm not really expecting there to be that much activity for at least 2, maybe 3 weeks. Process is definitely slower than doing a worm bin, but I think that in terms of its ability to break down meats and also cooked foods is also a great way to really reduce on your total food waste. It's great to have family members also involved, so especially kids, especially adults. I mean, in the beginning, it's always going to be a bit more skeptical, but when you actually see the result of the compost in terms of growing other plants, in terms of how little food waste you generate at the end of it, it more than makes up. And the great thing is like in most kitchens, especially if you buy decent quality stuff, you know, without too many preservatives or additives, you actually have a lot of really good composting material, compost ready material to actually use. So in another video, I saw another guy who was also composting old flour, which I never even thought of. So I mean, like, there's definitely a lot of stuff around that you can compost in your house. So I will continue to update it when I update. So see y'all.